And it's me again, Mrs. Badillo, your art teacher who misses you very much. Notice tonight I'm wearing this super cool hat that I've had for a long time, but I haven't had the nerve to wear it in person, so it's easier to do when you're behind the camera and you don't have people actually staring at you. But I've had several of you who had questions on the radial balance assignment in the Andy Goldsworthy style from nature, so I am going to demonstrate it for you tonight, and hopefully this clears things up for you. I'm going to read the assignment exactly as I have it in the PowerPoint presentation for you. And it says, your art project this week is to go outside on a nice day or even a rainy one. Try to think like Andy Goldsworthy. Look for little sticks, pine cones, rocks, leaves, etc. and create a radial design. It can stay out in your yard and you will have some yard art. If you are unable to go outside, you can also make radial designs from objects in your house. Okay, so we're not asking you to just go find something that's a circle and photograph it. We are going to go out, first of all, and collect some objects that we can use to create a sculpture. It's beautiful right now, even though it says it's 43 degrees outside Tuesday evening. The sun is shining bright, so I am going to wander outside and see what I can collect. I have a bag with me to put my objects in that I find. Before I do that, I'm going to see if I can get an assistant. I'm sure they'll say no, but I'm going to ask. My son Joel over here, he is behind the computer. He is in the middle school. A lot of you guys know him. I would like it if you would let him know that I don't actually talk bad about him behind his back to my students. So Joel, my students are needing help with their project, so I'm creating a demonstration for them, and I need an assistant. Can you come with me outside to gather some pine cones or rocks or sticks or leaves or interesting objects?
No.
Please?
No.
If I give you chocolate?
No.
Gummy bears?
No.
Brownies?
No.
Homemade ice cream?
No.
Is there any chance whatsoever you might help me?
No.
I told you he would say that. So now we're in here. This is Jay. He's my college student. He's probably going to yell at me and tell me to get out of his room. No, Jay, I'm making a demonstration video for my students, and I need an assistant. Will you come outside with me and help me gather some objects for our project? Is there anything I can do to convince you?
No.
Food?
No.
Money?
Go.
Well, that was nicer than I thought it would be. Any further with my demonstration, I do want to point out that this project is brought to you by Charlene, and her last name is spelled Cloutier. She is an art teacher who has willingly, generously, graciously, kindly shared this project with other art teachers to use in the situation that we're in doing the distance learning. There have been art teachers from across the nation. They have collaborated, they have shared, they have came together, all these brilliant creative minds trying to come up with the best lessons and projects for our art students to do at home. And I really appreciate Charlene sharing this lesson with us. Of all of the lessons that I saw, this was one of my favorite because A, I love Andy Goldsworthy, and two, I love the fact that you guys can get out in nature, explore, notice things you might not have noticed before. And I also love the fact that you don't need any art supplies to do this. You can it's from things you already have. You don't have to go buy anything. So thank you again, Charlene, and I just wanted to put that out there before we move on. First up, I have my bag here. I want you to make sure the bag that you use is sanitized, that it's not contaminated or anything, because I know that this COVID is supposed to be able to live on some products, and so just be safe with anything that you touch or handle, okay? Now my bag, I've got my front door. I just take an opportunity once again to show this stained glass door here. It's obviously not real stained glass. We made the paint with egg tempera and we painted it on the door, and I just think it's so lovely. So I'm going to go outside now. I'm going out in my front yard and I'm just going to start looking for stuff. Now, one thing that I have tons of, hey, there's the neighbor, Matt. Hi, Matt. He ignores me most of the time. I say hi anyway. One thing I have lots of are these pecans. We have 3 pecan trees in our front yard, and we get tons of pecans, and for whatever reason, most of them this year have not been very good. I try to keep them all picked up because my husband just loves his grass, and I don't want him to get mad at my trees and cut them down. So my first step is I'm just going to come around here and I'm going to pick up all these pecans that I find. There are lots of weeds out and about this time of year. I know that some of you guys told me that you had already sprayed your yards, but I think this is a weed. I hope it's a weed because I'm going to pick it. If it was a nice annual flower, I don't know. What's the difference in annual and perennial? I'm going to have to find out and tell you because I don't want to tell you wrong. So, all All right, so I got some weeds. What I want you to do is I do not want you to pull flowers out of your parents' flower beds. That could get us both in a whole lot of trouble. So if you do want to use some flowers for color, make sure that you have permission. I have these irises here, and I might take a couple of the stems off of them, you know, without messing up the irises. Lots of things like that you know, you might want to use. Some things that have color to pop. Right here I have these, I know that's a weed, and it's big. It's got a really thick stalk. So I'm going to pull this out because these long stems here could make a really cool design of some sort. Thing at my house, I have, you know, my husband just loves to cut branches off of trees. So I've got lots of branches and dead limbs here that, I don't know, they make these little Y patterns, and I'm going to take some of these too. Extra brick that was left over when we moved to the house that nobody uses. So I'm going to take these bricks here, and that's something else I can incorporate into my radial balanced design. Tree over here, it's got some pretty little leaves on it, some bright green and some darker green. And I think I can take some of those just fine without damaging the tree and without, you know, making anybody mad, and they'll grow back. So something like that, it's going to be okay to take if you want them for color for your design. I have one of my very favorite things in the whole wide world, and that's dandelions. I just love dandelions. They're always so cool. In my backyard, I happen to have some hay bales. So I might take some of these pieces of hay, some straw here. I'm sure there's lots of really cool things that we could do with that. Oh, PSO has came by, and they have cut down a bunch of trees and limbs. So I've got these out here that need hauled off, and I can take pieces of this here and use it to make my sculpture as well. Wanting some color, I couldn't help but notice out here in my backyard, I have several of these little, I don't know, they're plastic. Oh my, let me see here. So yeah, I found these really cool, colorful plastic objects. Well, I mean, they seem plastic, and they were in my backyard, and there was purple and green and yellow and pink and all these colors. And maybe it's a new flower that's in bloom this year, but I wonder if some of you guys might be able to find some of these really cool flowers or rocks or whatever they might be laying around your yard. I mean, I think they just started blooming last Sunday. Because this is a demonstration video and I need to hurry up and wrap it up so you guys can get started, I'm going to do more. I promise I'm going to post more. But just to get you started, the first step, go outside, collect things, take your bag. I've got a bag full of these really pretty flower things. And what I love about these is, if you look, I don't know if you can see here or not, the little white things on the end look like hearts. And I just love that. So anyway, I've got a bag full of goodies that I collected. And so that's going to be your first step. You don't have to put anything together tonight. I just think that it'd be great if tonight or in the morning, it's supposed to be like 63 degrees tomorrow. Go outside, get some fresh air, walk around, pay attention to things you normally don't notice. Get out in nature. Don't be around people. I don't want you getting close to anyone. You know, stay safe, but get some fresh air and find you some interesting objects. Gather them, collect them up, and then I will tell you guys the next step, okay?